What's going on, everybody? Leo Cannell here with the Seven Figures Club podcast. It is Monday morning at 8:46, and I am ready to tell you some amazing things. So over the weekend, I've been reading an amazing book, Green Lights by Matthew McConaughey. If you have not read this book, or actually it's 10 times better to listen to it and listen to how he explains and illustrates and entertains and just shares a ton of wisdom. Gotta listen to this book, Green Lights by Matthew McConaughey. But in today's podcast, we're going to talk about how you must be able to tolerate pain to gain success, how Matthew McConaughey's mastery of pain has brought him incredible, immense success, and how the pain of failure, the grind, and relentlessness has driven me inevitably to success. So let's go! There are over 32 million businesses in the U.S., and over 90% of them will never break seven figures in annual sales. So how do we as entrepreneurs or aspiring entrepreneurs break into that seven figures club? This podcast will relentlessly share the secrets, strategies, and tactics I've used to create 3 multi-seven figures businesses and bring in even more successful entrepreneurs than me to share their inspirational stories and tactics to success. You can create your dream business and life right now. So buckle up and let's go. So as I've been reading Matthew McConaughey's book, just so creative and so amazing. He's a traveled guy, spending time in the Amazon and Africa. He's got incredible mental toughness that's allowed him to, keep his body in peak physical shape. And then he has the tolerance of pain to be able to do amazing things in his career. And so the topic that I really wanted to dive into today is the importance, the necessity, the must-have of being able to tolerate pain to gain success. And as I look around at the population at large and at entrepreneurs, there's no question in my mind that success is the ability to tolerate pain. There's just no doubt about it, because so much of the population, so many people, so many entrepreneurs, they cannot tolerate pain. And because they can't tolerate pain and discomfort, they're unable to do what it takes to obtain massive success. As I think about Elon Musk's biography, and I read the part where he's building up one of his first company, and then PayPal, he's sleeping in the office, working 7 days a week, and does that for a couple years or longer until he's able to sell those companies and cash in those shares that he eventually uses to fund, Tesla and SpaceX and some of the amazing companies that he has built and grown and changed our world and planet and everything about our race practically. But he never would have gotten to that point if he had not been able to tolerate the pain of eating crap. He's literally eating crap every day, pizza, fast food, and sleeping in his office, working 7 days a week, and basically sun up to sundown, and just incredibly focused, and not a comfortable, not a very enjoyable time in terms of, he's not getting a lot of recreation, he's not traveling, he's not doing anything fun, he's just working every second of the day. But he's able to tolerate that pain to gain the success that he achieves. And as I'm reading through Matthew McConaughey's book, he has this incredible focus throughout his life where he's also able to gain a better perspective because of his ability to tolerate pain. And so some of the examples that I'll give you from his book is at key points in his life when he feels like he's getting lost and he doesn't know exactly what he should do, he will go and do something which most people would not even contemplate doing. One of those things was he went to the Amazon and hiked hundreds of miles over 20 days to actually get to the Amazon from a remote part of Peru. Just him and his guide, who didn't really speak much English, spoke mostly Spanish, and has this amazing experience, but goes through a lot of physical pain and exhaustion to have this experience and gain this clarity of mind that leads to success. He's able to focus in and do filming every single day for months at a time with no break because that's what his craft requires. He's able to put in the time and the study and the research of who his character is. And in one of his movies, one of my favorites is Reign of Fire, where he and Christian Bale are fighting a world where dragons have literally, taken over. These mythical creatures come back and knock out the majority of the population, and there's just a small human population and a few tribes left. And Matthew McConaughey's character is the ultimate, tough guy who's fighting and not surviving, but really going to war against these dragons so that the human race can evade, basically extinction. I mean, that's what he's absolutely doing in this character. And so to get ready for this character, he's like, all right, this character has got to be so tough that he decides he's going to run 5 miles barefoot in the desert so that the soles of his feet are so scarred and tough that he can go through anything. So he does that, and then he's like, all right, this guy also has to be, able to keep his resting heart rate super low while he's up 40 or 50 feet in the air, right at the edge of falling from a cliff where he can, splatter and die. And so he does that. And of course, he does incredible weight and strength and more cardio workout to get ready for this character. And he does this, throughout, of course, his career. Of course, in one of his roles, he has to basically become anorexic because he's a sick guy who's got AIDS. That's the character that he's playing, and he loses all this weight, and it just takes enormous toll on his body. But he's got this mental stamina, this ability to withstand and confront incredible physical and mental pain to achieve the result that he must have in order to succeed at the highest level with his craft. And that role there then leads to many other roles, and now, without a doubt, he's one of the best actors of all time because of this amazing ability to take on painful roles, painful physical tolls, and absolute and complete and utter exhaustion. And that, my friends, I believe is a key. It's a necessity to be able to succeed in life. And I think, without a doubt, as I look at some of the younger generations and plenty of the older too, that's something that they're not willing to do. They're not willing to go through the pain, the difficulty, the journey to get to where they want to go. They all want to take these shortcuts, and there are no shortcuts to success. No question about it. You have to be able to take on difficulty, adversity, trials, and tribulations if you're going to achieve incredible success and be part of the 1% or the top of your craft, of your industry. There's just no doubt about it. So as I look at my own life, I am absolutely sure that you have to be able to get through the pain of failure. And we're talking about, terrible and immense failure. And if you are unable to get through that failure and come out the other side, then you can't tolerate that pain. And sometimes the first big failures that we have in life, I think, are the most difficult. And if we can learn to get through those failures by writing down goals of where we're going to be when we come out the other side of these failures, and understanding these failures are part of the journey and not a permanent place that we're located at, that is an incredibly important part. So as I think about my own journey as an entrepreneur in my 20s, building a successful real estate and mortgage company, and seeing that all crumble in the recession of 08 and 09 when the majority of mortgage companies and real estate companies went bankrupt. And as I go through that painful time in my own life, I didn't realize, I didn't have the wisdom to know that this is just a temporary thing, and you just focus on the next thing, and you find the right fit, the right business model, the right industry. For me, that's the business funding industry. And you can focus on doing what it takes to succeed and to come out of the other side of that failure. And once you've had, I think, that first big failure, which is so painful, and it might be painful in a number of ways, now you're able to get through the next failure much quicker, much quicker. Okay, I failed. Who gives a shit? Let's move on to the next thing, the next thing. Where's success at? Where's the goal? Where's the solutions? And what can I learn from this mistake? And most importantly, what can I do to not make that same mistake again, which is egregious. It's one of my quotes with my kids and my team, is to make one mistake is understandable. You must learn from it. To make the same mistake twice is egregious, unacceptable. Cannot let that happen, right? And so that's what the pain of failure does. One of the keys to success I see with a lot of people are those that have gone through the physical exertion and pain to achieve great fitness. And as I look back, interestingly enough, as I was at the beginning of going through this massive failure, I looked in the mirror and realized that I was failing, my body. How many bodies do we get, kids? I always ask my kids, how many bodies do we get? We get one. And my goodness, we better take care of it, right? And so as I'm looking in the mirror at age 27, going through, I thought it was so awesome, built this multi-seven figures company, seeing it all come tumbling down, my investments, my credit, everything being absolutely slaughtered. At the same time, I realized, damn, I am out of shape. I'm getting this big pile of fat underneath my chin. I'm getting a double chin. I'm 27 years old. It's absolutely unacceptable. And I've got 25, 35 pounds of extra fat, and I'm realizing, geez, what in the world am I doing? So what do you do when you have a problem? You go all in to solve it. And that's one of the problems that most people face, is they're not willing to go through the pain of solving the problem. So it starts with the research. All right, where can I find success? And for me, it can't just be a ho-hum normal what everybody else is doing. It's got to be extreme. Success is found in extremes. It's not found in doing what everybody else is doing. It never will be. So I start to figure out, well, where are some extreme workouts and solutions that I can do? I don't love having to take time, driving to the gym and driving back. That takes an extra half hour out of your day, depending on where you live in proximity to your gym. And so I'm like, well, what can I do that I can be able to work out from home, not waste a ton of time, not have to go into a gym, but still get an extreme workout? And at the time, Tony Horton had just launched P90X. And P90X was this extreme workout where you're doing a bunch of push-ups, pull-ups, weights, cardio, karate, yoga, all these different things that I'd never done. I'd never done a lot of pull-ups. I had a pull-up bar at my parents' garage that I used to do pull-ups on to prove I was strong. And I realized, oh my gosh, I'm so out of shape. So I make the purchase, get P90X, and start to do that. That leads to Shaun T's Insanity. And as you can see, I'm just promoting Beachbody products. But the thing I love about them is they are extreme. They get amazing results. And then the thing that I've always heard, hey, it's 90% diet, 10% exercise. Oh, that sounds cute and all, but guess what I found to be fact? Here's the fact. If you work your ass out hard 5 times a week, do you feel like going to McDonald's and eating shit? No, you do not. So that's a big thing that I think a lot of people don't understand. They think, oh, just go on the next diet. Well, guess what? The next diet is just a part-time pain. It's not really long-term solutions. Long-term solutions come in testing and challenging your body and going through pain. And when you're out there, for example, a couple days ago, Saturday, I was out there running wind sprints at the track. We live right by a really nice new high school that our kids go to, and they've got a great soft track, great for your joints. So I'll go out and I'll run sprints on that track. I'll run stairs on the bleachers there, and it's an amazing cardio workout. And when you're sprinting and you're doing those stairs and you're going up and down, well, my word, I was ready to vomit. Luckily, I didn't eat any food that morning. I like to work out and then, get my food afterwards, get my protein drink afterwards. But the whole point of what I'm sharing here is 6 months later, I was in really good shape. 9 to 12 months later, I was in the best shape of my life at age 28. And as I look at the past 12 years, I'm now age 40. I'm in way better shape now than I was at age 25, 26, 27. And there hasn't been a week that's gone by that I haven't worked out at least 4 times a week, including when I go on vacation. A lot of people think, oh, I'm on vacation, it's time to not do anything. No, it's a habit. And when you build these habits to tolerate pain, there's no doubt in my mind that that translates into success in all aspects of your life. Because if you can go through the pain of getting your body in great physical fitness shape, well, guess what? Now you can go through the pain of failure, of having, just a few dollars or negative balance in your bank account, and learning how to generate the sales to build that up. You can go through the failure of hiring the wrong person and being tough enough to tell them it's not a good fit and fire their ass because they're hurting you and your business and themselves. And being able to look yourself in the eye and be like, well, you're not getting the job done. You're not putting in the work ethic. You're not reading the books. You're not becoming an expert in your craft. You're not doing what it takes. You're not being a good father. You're not spending the time. You're not teaching your kids and holding them accountable. Your job is to get the best out of them, not just be their friend, right? And so that, I think, is what translates into long-term success. The ability to take on pain, tolerate that pain, have that high pain tolerance, and come out the other side and see the success and know that the success is just on the other side of that pain that you're going through. And it is absolutely a key if you want to succeed in entrepreneurship, if you want to succeed in physical fitness and in getting ripped, if you want to be able to have incredible mental stamina to go through difficulty, if you want to have the stamina to do the hard things, to fire the people that you have to fire, to be able to tell your kids the truth and hold them accountable so that they can succeed in their lives. Like, all of these things come full circle when you have the ability to tolerate pain. I mean, I think back to high school football, when we used to do 3-a-days, and now they don't even do 3-a-days anymore because, the kids just might not be able to handle it. I mean, that's legitimately how everything's going. Everything in the world, in our country, seems to be going to softness, weakness, the inability to tolerate pain and gain mental toughness. And I'm telling you, if you want to succeed at the highest levels, take on physical pain to get into great shape. Take on mental pain. Take on the pain of failure and understand that it's all part of the journey. Now, you don't want to stay there too long because that's not good either. You've got to get through the other side. You've got to focus 99% on solutions, on income generation, on sales, and where those solutions are at, and then take massive action and create the types of activities that are going to help you to succeed. But my goodness, you've got to be able to handle the pain. You've got to be able to come out the other side of it. And when you can handle those first bits of pain, I think about, my real estate investment failures, and I think about how, starting the next business that did pretty well, but understanding it wasn't long term. I wasn't down on that as that next business I closed up and moved on to the next one. The business funding one, boy, it was great. And as I started a business funding company that went from $0 to $5 million in 18 months, and then in the next year or two after that, made mistakes, took on partners that I shouldn't have. Our growth, our profitability, we were losing tons of money, able to move on so much quicker to the next business that's so much more successful, and learn from the mistakes, not make the same mistakes twice, and go through that pain and understand it's all just part of the process. Now I can feel like I can take any next step of failure, any next step of pain, and come out the other side successful. And that, my friends, is a 7-figure secret. It's a requirement to build a 7-figures business and join the 7-figures club. So take that action. Don't be afraid of the pain. Understand failure is temporary and part of the journey, and you can achieve massive success. Go out today, be legendary, be bold, take massive action, and make it happen. Are you looking for more 7-figure secrets, content, or even how you can launch your own recession-proof business? Then check out 7figures.com. That's the digit 7, Figures.com, where we share more videos, stories, strategies, funding solutions, entrepreneurial education, and even the secret business type that's recession-proof. Thank you for listening, and if you're finding value in our podcast, please give us a 5-star and invite others to join the club.